Okay, I've decided to deal with the fact that Foxanne has very stiff sliding windows in the doors here. See, the windows, they don't wind down. They slide forward and back like that. But as you can see, it's actually really stiff to slide the window forward, and you need to slide the window forward quite quickly sometimes if you want to give a hand signal or whatever. So as a matter of safety, I think what we need to do is change these tracks down here, the bottom track, which is it's got a kind of a steel skeleton in it which has rusted and caused the whole thing to expand and therefore reduce the amount of space for the windows to slide in. So I'm going to pull that out and hopefully replace it with a fresh piece. But in order to do that, this whole window frame has to come off, and getting the window frame off isn't quite so simple, because this screw here, I've already ground the top off this screw because there's no way that was going to move. These two are okay because these are replacements, and this one I'm going to have to grind the top off this one. And at the bottom in here, there is a stud that comes through from the frame, and that appears to be rusted, so that will probably break, and then I'll probably have to drill the frame and put another screw and bolt in on this side. So let's get busy with the Dremel. Where is the Dremel? There it is. Now this is what I've already used. I've already used on this side to take the bolt head, take the screw head off there, and now I'm going to use it on this side to take the screw head off this one. So let's just have a look at this, see if I can get an angle on it. Obviously I'm not going to do it whilst holding the camera. I'll just yeah, so that's going to be a two-hand job, so if you'll excuse the expression. So I shall switch the camera off, get that screw out, and then come back. Okay, well I've got this, I've got the head of this bolt off, but the bottom fastening on this side is a stud that comes through, and well, you can't see, but on the inside of there, there's a nut, and there's no way that's coming loose. So I have managed to get this one off here, the outside, and the two other bolts, which I don't think are standard through here. I think there probably should have been a stud through here as well, but somebody's put two bolts in, which I'll probably have to copy on the other side. But I think just by getting this side off and lifting this side of the frame a little, I've managed to get the rear glass out, and if I just lift it a little bit more, I should now be able to get the front glass out. So I shall pull the front glass out and take it from there. Right, that's both glasses out, and as you can see, I've got the old bottom runner out, which is down here, and it's a complete and utter mess. It's all as I say, it's got a kind of a steel frame in it, and it's all rusted to bits, and the rust has all expanded, leaving not enough room for the glass to run in. So that's why the windows were all stiff. The replacement I've got for it is just rubber, flocked rubber, rather than having the wire stiffener in, and hopefully that will do the trick. You can still get these ones. I think you can get them they're actually listed for minis, for the sliding windows in Mark 1 minis, but I say for the time being I'm going to use the flexible flocked rubber, which is the same stuff that goes in the rest of the frame, and hopefully that will last a while. I shall go and get that in a minute. Cleaned all the sort of rust and dust out of there. Now this fixing here, which I had to cut off, as you can see, that goes into a captive nut in the top rail, so with a bit of luck and some releasing fluid, I should be able to get the remains of that screw out. The other two screws, as I say, people before me have put holes in the frame and screws through the door, because the originals were screws going from the inside into captive nuts in here, and both the captive nuts are rusted to buggery, and therefore you can't get the you can't use those screws. Yes, I could cut those out and I could weld in new captive nuts, but really I don't see the point in doing that unless I get a complete new frame, and I don't think I'll find one now. On this side, on the front, both the screws that go into the captive nuts are completely seized. There's no point in me taking them off now because I've got the glass out without removing the whole frame, just flexed it a little bit from this side, so with a bit of luck that'll all go back on without too much trouble. So I shall go and get the rubber to go in here and see what happens. Okay, this is the new rubber. As you can see, it's just soft rubber with a double channel and flock inside it, which isn't actually quite the right thing, but hopefully it'll do the trick for now. So that just squeezes and pushes in here, and it's actually a very good fit. So I'll just squeeze that in there, and then once that's in all the way along, I shall put the frame back on. Well, I'll put the windows back in and lower the frame back over them, and see how we do. Right, that's the rubber track all pushed into place and trimmed off at the end. The next thing is to slide the windows in, but before I can do that, as you can see, they're absolutely filthy, so I'm going to give these a bit of a clean up with some soapy water and then try sliding them in. Okay, that's the windows back in, and now I can slide the rear window forward nice and easily, and I can slide the front window back nice and easily, and there should be a little button on here glued to the glass to enable me to slide the front window a bit more easily, but we can attend to that later. But yeah, everything goes into place nice and easily now. You can slide it back and then lock it, and that stops both the windows from moving. Just got to do up the rest of these screws now. Oh, I need to get the remains of that screw out and replace it, do up the rest of these screws, and it's jobbed. So oh yeah, and put the door trim panels back on, which are sitting here on top of the other car. So that shouldn't take too long, and then I can go in for some lunch.